Hi everybody, I'm Mike, this is MK Outdoor Journal, and today we're going to take a look at my Altoids Tin Fire Kit. Stick around, maybe we'll learn something together. Fire and the ability to make it is one of the most important things to have when you're in the outdoors. If an emergency comes up, having a good fire could greatly increase your chances of survival, given that core temperature control is pretty much the most important thing that you have to pay attention to when you're in a survival situation. Hypothermia can kill you quick, and the ability to make a fire can stave that off. In addition to my Bic lighter that I always carry in my pocket and my wife often steals, I carry a pocket fire kit. Either in my pocket or in this handy belt pouch that I made. It's in an Altoids sized tin, and you know, they're called Altoids Tin Fire Kits because this is basically an Altoids tin. Just I bought it third party. A lot of people buy the Altoids, eat the candy, which is great, and then use the tin for stuff like this. But this particular kit is a fire kit, as I said. Let's open it up and take a look. So I have it shut with a Ranger band, which is a good fire extender if you need it. If you open it up, you'll see a few things in there. Let me lay them out on the table and we'll take a look. Inside the kit, I carry a few things. My kit usually has 4 of these in it. When they're folded in half, they look like tacos, but they're, well, I call them fire chips. They're basically a cotton pad soaked in wax. I dyed it orange so that if I drop it, it's easy to find. So usually 4 of those, I just used one. And I'll show you how to use one here in a moment. So fold it in half, I stick 4 of those in there. They have a good 3-minute burn time and they catch really easy. I like them a lot. I have 2 yards of jute twine in here. 2 yards just because that's what can fit. And this stuff is useful because if it's dry and you work it and fray the fibers out, it catches a spark really quick and it'll help a tinder bundle light fast, even without char cloth, which I don't carry in here strangely enough. But I'll show you how this works. I also have a small Ferro Rod and Striker. I keep this in here in case I want to take my Ferro Rod and Striker out and put it in my pocket or whatnot. I attach them together with this little key ring so they, you know, don't get lost, don't get separated from each other. And it opens up flat to fit in the tin. And then, last but certainly not least, I have a little piece of Fatwood in here. So again, here are my fire chips, my jute twine, striker, ferro rod, Fatwood, key ring, Ranger band, and the tin itself. Lately, I've been carrying this stuff in a leather pouch that I made for it. By the way, I'm offering all of this stuff for sale on my Etsy shop. You can either buy, the fire chips separately, comes in a round salve tin with 9 of them in it, or you can buy this whole kit right here together, or you can buy the kit and the pouch, or you can buy just the pouch. So I'll have a link to all that down below. So let me show you how these fire chips work. When they come out, obviously they come in the kit here folded. If you buy the fire chips themselves, they're flat. But either way they go, you have to work this thing. You see how there's this light spot along it? That's where the fibers are starting to break and separate, and you want that. The whole point of this is to have a fire extender, i.e. the wax, trapped inside this cotton. What that does is that lets it catch a spark easy and catch fire easy, and it lets it burn for a while. As I said earlier, I think these have a 3-minute burn time, so that should be plenty enough to get even wet wood caught. What you have to do is work this before you try to start it. You see how everything's becoming separated in here? You want that. That's more surface area to catch a spark. Now that you see it's all working up, I'll tear the center open to really expose those fibers. That gives us a lot of surface area in there. So then you take your Ferro Rod and Striker, which this striker is kind of neat. It can be used as a bottle opener, and it has a little ruler in there. I don't know why they did that, but hey, I'm not going to argue with it. Then you orient your ferro rod towards your fire chip and try to throw a spark. And just one spark caught it. Now that'll burn for a good 3 minutes. As you can see, even in a wind, this thing will stay lit. The next thing I want to show you is this jute twine. You want to take a piece of it, cut it off. You know, use a rock, use a knife, use whatever. Shoot, not with your teeth, I don't care. But you want to cut a piece off. And you have to do the same thing with this that you did with the fire chip. You got to work it a little bit. You got to process it. You need to open it up and expose all the fibers that are in the jute. Because this is a natural plant fiber and you need to expose it to use it as a tinder. Again, you're creating surface area for a spark to catch on and for a fire to start on. Now this is not going to burn as long as the fire chip did by any means. But what this is really good for is to add to a bird's nest a tinder bundle of some kind to help it catch that spark, particularly if you need just a little bit of something dry in there that's super dry and super flammable. This would be it. So you want to take it and process it. You know, sometimes you can just work it like this and really fray it up good. You want to expose as much of that as you can. Then again, strike your spark to it. And it catches fire instantly. Again, it won't burn as long as the fire chip, but it does catch right away. So that's useful in starting a fire with a tinder bundle. Your ranger band, if you're having trouble keeping a fire going, you can cut this into thin strips with your knife and add it to your fire, and that'll help keep it going. It'll be a fire extender. But I find it to be more useful just to keep the doggone tin shut. Last but not least is this piece of fatwood. For those that don't know, fatwood is pine that is impregnated with pine resin. It usually will come from a fallen stump or a rotted log or whatnot, but when you can find it, hell, you could even buy it at Lowe's, I guess. When you can get fatwood, it's a good thing to have because it's waterproof and it starts very, very easy. The way I would use it with this kit is if I didn't have a knife with me to cut shavings off, I would use the striker to scrape shavings off like so. Start at one of the corners and just keep working it. Oh, if you were here, you could smell that nice pine smell right there. I love that. It smells good. Anyhow, you take your pine, your pieces of fatwood shavings right there, and you put it all together. And again, this is something I would add to a tinder bundle. Because once I can get a spark into it, it'll light right up. Now that'll burn a little bit longer than the jute because of the pine resin in it. So there's the parts of the kit. It's the fire chips, the Ferro Rod and Striker, Fatwood, Jute Twine, Ranger Band, and the tin. Again, if you buy it from my Etsy shop, this is what you'll get in the tin, except you'll get 4 of these, not 2. You can buy the pouch separate if you don't want to spend, all the money at once on them, or you can buy it with the pouch, or you can buy it without the pouch. If you buy it without the pouch, you're going to get a cotton drawstring bag, which I'll throw a picture in of here, that will be good to store this in your pack. Plus, you can collect tinder and kindling and whatnot in the cotton pouch. It's a nice peace of mind to know that I have a pocket-sized kit where I can carry all my fire-making supplies when I'm out in the woods, since, well, fire's pretty doggone important, isn't it? If you like what you saw, please like, share, subscribe. Consider becoming a patron on my Patreon account. Every little bit helps me bring content like this to you. And as always, come on back. Maybe we'll learn something together.